The richness of lives in the memories we keep and the nostalgic feelings that we experience each time we engage in such time-traveling cruise to the past. Permit me to share some of my good old days and the reminiscence with you. I am Chief Olakunle Akinnagbe, the Lekian of Ondo Kingdom, and here you have it. I was born and raised in Ondo Kingdom, a traditional town that traces its origin back to over 500 years. A town that is embodiment of culture and tradition, located at the southern edge of the Yoruba Hill with a population of over 500,000 indigenes. My father, Chief Oluwashijibomi Albert Akinnagbe, was a trader and a distributor with John Holt PLC, while my mom, Mrs. Juliana Iwalola Akinnagbe, was a tailor. I am number 7 among the 17 siblings. Growing up was very interesting. We live in a bungalow with our 7 of other cousins and 12 of my siblings. The communal bond between us was unparalleled. We all ate from the same plates, shared cups, spoons, and others. We attended the same school and also had common friends. Our grandma, Mama, lived with us in the same house. She usually wakes us up by 6 a.m. in the morning with a bell for prayer. And if anyone got to the living room late for prayers, it will be 5 strokes of cane for such offender. While she treated us with love, she never spared the rod when it comes to discipline. I had my primary school at LA Primary School, Ondo, and as I was young then, it was a thing of joy to hawk for grandma after school. Rather than see it as a child labor then, we saw it as a form of training in hard work and enterprises. You must ensure there was no error in sales, and this account is balanced each time we go out to hawk. Hence, you will need a lot of explanation to do to avoid being remanded or even get punished for such carelessness. My grandma was no nonsense woman, and I must say that her training and tutelage really helped in modeling us to who we have become today. I remember we had rosters on who would clean the house or do dishes on daily basis. Rosters on who to clean the house and wash plates for the weeks are pasted around the veranda. This gives us a high sense of responsibility early in life. How much of all this training do we today impart on our children? Food for thought for every one of us. I remember with nostalgia how my father would tell us stories of different places he had worked, like Ikeja before he became independent. How some of his past workers, irrespective of their tribe, will come home to live with us, even spend holidays with us. To date, I still relate with some of these people who are neither my family or even from my town. Such was the communal spirit with which I was trained and brought up with. My secondary school days at Orimalade Community Grammar School was quite eventful. That was where I began to understand life in a different dimension. It was a meeting point between the good, the bad, and the ugly. I was not in the boarding house, although I wish I would have been in the boarding house. So as a day student, we would trek almost half a mile every day from home to school and back, gisting away with friends and sharing experience along the way. As an adolescent, peer group influence cresting. I remember the particular episode when a friend introduced me to smoking and drinking. My first experience was not only nasty, it was unforgettable. I staggered, missed my step, but managed to get home to the glory of God. I could not even change my school uniform before dropping on the bare floor in front of the house and slept. I woke up the following day still feeling so uncomfortable and with a heavy hangover. My dad didn't utter a word, but he waited till 3 days after just to make sure I was stable before dishing out appropriate punishment for me. And for 1 week, I was serving different daily punishments. It was at Ondo State University, Ado-Ekiti, that I had my breath air of freedom. The first time I was staying alone in a rented apartment and taking decisions that would guide me not only my future but my conduct. However, what went with me to school were those trainings of my youth and the value of hard work, enterprise, and integrity. I remember my father would always tell us in our dialects, "Má tètè jókòó ǹdí àbà, kó bá lè pẹ́ ǹdí àbà," meaning hard work space. Do not relax too much even when you are in your comfort zone. A lesson in vigilance. This lesson paid off in life for me because of the lesson in content that was ingrained in me. I did not have a car of my own until 5 years after I got married. I was living in a one-room rented apartment with my wife for 3 years after marriage. But today, we give God the glory for all the many things He has done. What do we have today amongst our youth? The get-rich-quick syndrome. Nobody wants to work hard anymore. What today's youth want is little job, fat pockets, and our value has been eroded. Our growing-up memories are often fragments, brief moments or encounter which together form the scrapbook of our lives. There we derive the wisdom and knowledge so deep that they cannot be wished away. So, where did we get it wrong? Will our children believe us when we say we had so much fun in those days? The value imparted on us made us who we are today. Our challenge now is to focus on how we can change the narrative. How instead of talking about the good old days, be projecting into a future that is greater than our past. Our children certainly deserve a brighter future, full of hope, and not gory tales of scary future. You and I must therefore walk the talk by ensuring we right the wrongs. Great morals and sound education can never go out of fashion. Let's make it happen. To this end, I join Sir Shemore Badejo in this collective drive towards a greater tomorrow. Thank you and God bless.